Alderman, can I have everybody seated, please? Okay, it is now 7 o'clock. We're going to go ahead and start the city council meeting. Will everyone please be seated? Okay, again, I will ask one last time for everybody, please be seated. Can I have, okay. Alderman Felix, can we have you back, please? Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Donnerworth.
Present.
Alderman Florian.
Present.
Alderman Hayes.
Present.
Alderman Bolton.
Present.
Alderman Guzman.
Present.
Alderman Martinez.
Present.
Alderman Felix. Alderman Newsom.
Present.
Alderman Turner.
Present.
Mayor Taylor.
Present.
You have a quorum, ma'am.
Thank you. Tonight, we have Pastor Mark Rollenhagen from the St. Paul's Lutheran Church. He's going to give the invocation. Thank you very much for being here this evening.
Thank you. Thank you. It's good to be with you this evening, older persons and everyone here tonight for the meeting. You probably don't know this, but we actually pray for you every Sunday in my faith tradition. And yesterday's prayer in our petitions was this: compassionate God, help government leaders of this world unite for peace and justice, humble all who hold authority, that power is directed toward a more just society. I also want to offer this to you this evening and for everyone who's present here this evening, either in person or online. It's a reading from our scriptures from the first chapter of the book of James. You must understand this, my beloved. Let everyone be quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to anger, for your anger does not produce God's righteousness. That's an important thing to remember, I think, particularly in these times of division, and far too many of us are quick to anger and speak before we listen. So I offer this prayer. Gracious and loving God, we commend our city and all of its people to your care. Give these leaders and all who are gathered here this evening strength of purpose and concern for others. Open our ears that we may hear each other. Open our eyes that we may see each other as your beloved. Open our minds that we may better understand each other. And open our hearts that we may look upon one another with compassion. We ask all of this so that we may together create a community of justice and peace. Amen. God bless you.
Well, again, thank you everyone for being here this evening. Welcome to the, believe it or not, August 5th City Council meeting. I want to remind people our agendas come out on the Friday evening, like by 5 o'clock for the Monday City Council meeting. Please go and check those out on our website at waukeganil.gov and see all the agendas before the meetings. I want to take this time to recognize St. Paul's Lutheran Church. Yesterday they had the mural dedication, As many of you may have heard, a few weeks ago, there was some vandalism with some very derogatory remarks made about our Pride community. Waukegan Friends stepped up, paid for the mural to be done. They talked to Deanna Cruz from Dandelion Gallery. They got that going. Honestly, if you haven't had a chance to see it, it's one of the most beautiful murals you'll ever see. And the unity that it brings, I think, is outstanding. So thank you very much. It was a wonderful day to celebrate our community and the unity within it. And again, I want to reach out and say thank you to St. Mark's Lutheran Church for turning something negative into a positive and turning hate into love. For those of you who don't know, the Waukegan Park District is again partnering with our Waukegan Police Department for the 2024 Touch-A-Truck, which is this Friday, August 9th, from 5 to 8 at the Waukegan Municipal Beach. It's a very family-friendly and very family-orientated experience where kids get to touch trucks of all different sizes and shapes, and it's there for our community. Bring out the whole family. The whole night, it's a national campaign for a National Night Out. It's an annual community building campaign that promotes police-community partnerships and neighborhood camaraderie. You'll find it in almost every community. Sometimes it's different weekends, but it's a great experience, and the Park District will also host a free movie at the Steiner Pavilion afterwards. The film will be a very family-friendly and free popcorn, and will be available all the popcorn will be available while supplies last. You are encouraged to bring snacks, blankets, chairs, picnic gear, and most importantly, insect repellent. Again, I don't know of a child that hasn't gone to this event and had a blast, so please bring the family. Our last band concert for the Waukegan Band Concert, The Mystery of the Mysteries, will be held at Steiner Pavilion tomorrow evening at 7:30. This is the last chance to see the band for the summer. And again, I'm going to say bring insect repellent. August is Black History Month. In September, the city is excited to partner with Junos, a Waukegan nonprofit, to support the Mexican and Latin American Independence Day Parade in downtown Waukegan on Sunday, September 15th. The parade kicks off on Washington Street at noon. More information can be found at junosnfp.com. The festival that same day is hosted by Payroll Football, and both these organizations submitted their applications this past January and have been coordinating with both city staff and each other to ensure that the festivities are fun, safe, and welcoming for everybody. As always, you can find our events and more on the city's calendar at waukeganil.gov. On our social media pages, you can also sign up for notifications and e-news on our website or by emailing the city at enews@waukeganil.gov. Finally, I want to take a moment to address something that I heard is going around on social media. Some of you may know that the city of Waukegan has an exercise facility here at City Hall. It is actually primarily, but not always, used by our Waukegan Police Department. It is a contractual obligation that we keep with our police department. But all City Hall staff can use the facility. And really what the purpose of it is to keep all of our employees healthy, to keep our insurance costs down. As many of you know, I've personally even said my own quest in losing 100 pounds has been primarily for health reasons. Aldermen can use it. It's something that it's been there for years and years. So I want to point out that on a vendor bill run that was put on the agenda for this evening, there were a few line items related to exercise equipment for the exercise room. And while the bill run says for the mayor's office, it just means that it was paid for out of the mayor's office. That's what budget it came out of. And in fact, it was edited a little bit on what I'm hearing on social media. But just because it was paid for out of my office does not mean that the equipment was meant for me personally. I frankly have a confession to say. I've never been in our gym. If I work out, which I'm not as good about as I should be, I work out at home. I generally never have time to do that here, either before or after work. So I frankly have never, I've seen it, I've never been in our gym. But I will say that I will always support things that help our staff maintain a better and healthier lifestyle. And again, I have no qualms in paying $85 for weights so that our employees have a better health situation. So I just wanted to do a clarification on that so that people knew what that really was. And with that, Madam Clerk? Oh, I'm sorry. Sure.
Just for those of you holding up signs, you're absolutely allowed to hold up signs. I would ask that you be careful not to block the person behind you. That's just out of common courtesy. Everyone has the right to be here. Everyone has the right to express themselves in that way, but you don't have the right to prevent someone else from seeing the proceedings. Thank you very much for your consideration.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, we do have a couple of proclamations tonight. Pretty exciting. The first one is recognizing Waukegan Olympia Shakita Jones. Whereas Shakita Jones, well, now we got a whole lot of stuff to read. So whereas Shakita Jones was born and raised in Waukegan, Illinois, and whereas Shakita Jones attended Carmen School, Glen Flora School, and North Elementary Schools, as well as Jack Benny Junior High School. And whereas Shakita Jones attended Waukegan High School and was an all-around athlete that led her 2 years as a guard in basketball and all 4 years in track. And whereas Shakita Jones was one of the nation's top sprinters during her prep career and won the Illinois State Crown all 4 years of her high school career before graduating in 1997. And whereas Shakita Jones is etched in the annals of the Illinois sports history with her record-breaking 17 individual State of Illinois IHSA titles, the most in the state's history, and was also a two-time Junior Olympic and World Junior champion during her junior and senior years. And whereas Shakita Jones attended UCLA from 1997 through 2002, where she became an All-American sprinter. And whereas Shakita Jones represented the United States at the 2000 Olympics in Sydney, Australia. And whereas Shakita Jones launched Furthering the Lives of Youth, FLY, a program aimed at helping promising young standouts in a variety of fields after returning to Waukegan. And whereas Shakita Jones is the head coach of the girls' track and field team at Waukegan High School, where she helps mentor the next generation of Waukegan student athletes. And whereas Shakita Jones was recognized with an honorary street dedication at a ceremony for Shakita Jones Olympic Way on Sunday, July 14th, at the intersection of Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue and George Street near her childhood home. And now therefore be it resolved, Mayor Ann B. Taylor and members of the City Council of Waukegan, Illinois, do hereby recognize Olympian and Waukegan native Shakita Jones and celebrate her positive impact on the community and recognize her accomplishments representing Waukegan, adopted this 5th day of August, 2024.
I just want to say, isn't it coincidental that it happens to be the Olympics right now, right? How appropriate that we time this, right? But honestly, everything that you have done for this community and how proud this community is of you, I mean, it's amazing. And I think, I don't know, what is your reaction when the Olympics goes on now? Like, does it bring back memories? Does it make you feel nervous when you see these? Yeah, I was going to say, I would think it would bring out a lot of anxiety of how you feel before a race and all of that. But on behalf of the City of Waukegan, I want to present this to you. As we mentioned, we did a street naming for her. I was not present at that. I happened to be on vacation, but I'm thrilled that we're here tonight with you. And, you know, it's funny that you're probably going home to watch track, right? Yes. I knew it. I knew it. Once an athlete, always an athlete, right? Yeah.
Could you all have a conversation with each other and kind of ignore the car? Just talk about the Olympics. Talk about that.
Thank you, everyone. I'd just like to introduce my mom, Shelley Jones, my young grandmother, Lily Greer, my cousins, Deontay and Denarius McCoy, my cousin, Dante McCoy, my auntie, Deborah. Where did she? My auntie, Deborah, my cousin, Shamila Banks, my sister, Jenny Leonard. I'm sorry, Jenny Crump, and my new brother-in-law. And I just want to thank everyone for being here. And for me, the biggest thing is so many people said to me, why don't we know that there's an Olympian from Waukegan? And I have the same question. Where can a person go to find out the people from Waukegan who have done amazing things? So I tasked the city and the council to find a place to put people like me so that people can see excellence from Waukegan. There aren't a lot of us, but for those that are excellent, we need to be on these walls somewhere where a person can just come in and see, oh, there is an Olympian from Waukegan, so they can aspire to do the same things.
Come on, you got to talk.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Okay, we have a second proclamation. And that will be the Illinois Municipal Treasurers Week, August 11th through the 14th, 2024. Whereas municipal government, to best serve the needs of the citizenry, must be operated with efficiency and in an orderly and trustworthy manner. And whereas all monies received into the municipal treasuries are dedicated funds and are used only for their specific purposes. And where as the official custodians responsible for proper management and investment of these funds. And whereas the efficiency and order with which government carries out its public functions is strongly reliant on procedures and accurate financial records. And whereas an organized source of financial knowledge about its government activities is vital to the smooth governing of the municipality. And whereas it is most appropriate that we recognize a historic municipal office which grew out of the traditions of our democratic heritage. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Mayor Taylor and members of the City Council of Waukegan, Illinois, do hereby proclaim the week of August 11th through the 14th, 2024, be known as Illinois Municipal Treasurers Week in recognition of the vital services they perform and the outstanding community dedication they exhibit. Be it further resolved that the City of Waukegan extends appreciation to our City Treasurer, Dr. John R. Schwab, and Deputy City Treasurer, Joan Westfall, for the vital services they perform and their exemplary dedication to the communities they represent. And that a suitably embossed copy of this resolution, signed by the Mayor and City Clerk, be presented to City Treasurer Dr. John R. Schwab at the Waukegan City Council meeting on August 5th, 2024, dated this 5th day of August, 2024.
Can I have Dr. Schwab and Deputy Treasurer come up?
while we're waiting, I'm in I'm on my 16th year, but the thing that I'm most proud of is Joan came to me 10 years ago. And with her help, a number of small projects that didn't get done in the first 6 years were accomplished within the first 2 months. I gave her a little project. It was something extra. It wasn't going to turn the city around. It was just going to improve the office. I went to the first staff meeting, gone an hour and a quarter, came back, expected to leave and go to my garden. Joan says, which way do you want to do this? You read the stuff over and make a decision. That's how good Joan is. If I give her something, it's done almost immediately. And I want to thank her public for all the help she's given me the last 10 years.
Joan's going to play shy, but honestly, they both do a tremendous job every day. But
Okay, we're going to continue with audience time. Let me change this. Let me call up the first. Hold on. Oh, there you go. Okay, hasn't changed yet, the rules. So you have 3 minutes. I'm going to call the first 6 people. Go to the east side of the room, line up, be ready to go, say your first name. The first one is Santish Skaria, Mr. Rayon Edwards, Mr. Chuck Stalis, Clyde McLemore, Yesenia Reese, and Brother Blank. Mr. Santash Sakaria, Rayon Edwards, Chuck Stalis, Clyde McLemore, Yesenia Reese, and Brother Blanks.
My name was not called, ma'am.
Sorry, sir?
You called the first 10, ma'am?
Santish Skaria? Is the Santish Skaria here? Santish Skaria, last call. Mr. Rayon Edwards.
Good evening, Council. Tonight, Mayor, I'm glad that you did address what you say was put on social media. And this is what I'm going to say to the Council tonight. This is why we, the community, be concerned when y'all be doing these waivers and just putting an amount there to say that they can do such and such when we know that it don't take all of that money, because this is what happens. Nothing that the police department needs should be in your budget. They got their own budget. And since the taxpayers is paying for everything, then I guess it's okay for us to use the gym too. Because I don't see a lot of staff there. I spend most of my time downtown Waukegan. Most of it. Tonight, this council is getting ready to talk about public comment. And Alderman Newsom, I appreciate you educating us and letting us know exactly what it means. This is why communication is key. Because here it is, we thinking y'all fit cut the public comment. But let me say this, and I'm going to say it again, and I hope all you aldermen are listening. Y'all don't need 10 minutes to talk to us. You want to stop our time and shorten the meetings? Then cut y'all time. We should be given just as much time as y'all are. This is an opportunity for us to address this body. And as public elected officials, you guys should be willing to listen to that. When we call you through the week, we don't get no calls. The only time council and politicians seem to show up at anything is when there's cameras. or election time. We sick of it. Our problems ain't just during election time. They throughout the year. So show us some grace. I get y'all want to get up out of here, but again, when we run for these public office, we know the job that it entails. We know what the requirements are. So Alderman Felix, tonight I'm going to say to you, I hope you learned a valuable lesson at the last council meeting. See, inexperience creates types of things like that. And so I hope going forward, before you decide to create whatever you want to create, you really give it some thought, bro. And you think about all the people in this city. Everybody. And that's the problem that we got right now. We keep grouping people up. We are all human beings, and we all deserve the same treatment. All of us. Because again, and I'm going to keep on saying it, black folks been getting their ass kicked through this country all our lives. And ain't nobody did nothing for us. Nothing. And so when we get to doing all that, I want y'all to think about that. And let's think about all of the crime that's happening in the city. And let's address that before we address anything.
Thank you, Mr. Rand. Chuck Rextalis.
Chuck Rextalis. Same issues. I remember 40 years ago when I sat up there and we had council meetings every week. I don't recall us limiting time of the audience during those council meetings, and we were paid far less money than you guys have today. I will ask Stuart, the last meeting we eliminated audience time and alderman time. Do we get 6 minutes this week, or is it just still 3 minutes? Is that an open meetings violation with restricting or eliminating the Opens Meetings Act regarding audience time? So the other item, obviously, I'm talking about, I emailed everybody that's on this council and started with Alderman Hayes 3 years ago almost, Alderman Hayes. We've had conversations about the environment. We worry about, violence and gun violence in this community. And I would just say that air and water pollution has killed more people than gun violence here. So I think we've got to look at what the city of Chicago has done to restrict toxic chemicals from being put in our atmosphere. I think you've got to adopt something like the land use integration with the UDO ordinance that you have here. You need to not allow building or tearing down, like St. Therese Hospital with asbestos, without the city engaging on the process. So anyway, I'm happy to come to a committee and provide whatever input I could to do this. So thank you.
Thank you, sir. Clyde McLemore.
Clyde McLemore. I'll ask every one of y'all, what is the core value of your voters? What is the core values of your citizens of this city? It is accounted that it is 89,321 citizens of Waukegan, but you only want 15 of them to be able to speak. It ain't like y'all got offices here, y'all work all week and everything like that. Nobody here but the mayor, the clerk. It ain't like none of y'all are here all week. So you can't sit your ass down and hear what these people got to say for two times a month from 7 o'clock in the evening. These people have problems. Look, we can't come over and talk to y'all. Y'all got us roped off. We can't come into the building that the taxpayers pay for. You got to have a code to get on that elevator. You know what I'm saying? Now you don't want number 15 people in the city to speak in public comment. That is bad. And y'all need to listen to this because it's election time. They get ready to go get some petitions. Vote their ass out. I want to say this here. Free Palatine. They ain't asking for much. Shamika's a very good friend of mine. That little piece of paper you gave her ain't shit. That's all they asking for. What Felix read was garbage. I wouldn't even accept that, but y'all vote that down. What he said, he didn't even say nothing about free the hostages. He didn't say nothing about free Palatine. When he read that resolution that he called himself putting together, it was half-ass shit. But y'all vote that down. That's all these people are asking for. That's all they asking for. And I mean, they just hit a hospital killing all kind of kids over there. But then you're telling me that y'all got consistent people calling y'all and telling y'all don't do this here. Mayor, sit down with them. Explain to them why you won't do it. You know, a meeting. That's all it takes. They ain't got to come with no signs or nothing like that. All they want is a conversation, but you won't even give them that. You got your gatekeeper, Chief George Bridges, stopping them from getting a little meeting with you. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. Stop this shit.
Yesenia Reese.
Yesenia Reese. There are 4 words that I heard today: uniform, code, matter, resolution. And I actually do want to thank the city of Waukegan for the traffic division for giving me those tickets. I also do want to thank the thief for breaking into my vehicle. See, despite all these matters, what resolutions do we have? See, when I started studying the Uniform Commercial Code, you'll find a lot of things that are interesting. 15 U.S.C. United States Code, 1681A, definitions and rules of construction. The term person, see, if you're speaking as far as in plain English, you would think it's blood, flesh, like you and me. But when you start studying the law, the term person means any individual, partnership, corporation, trust, the state, association, government. What about human? It's very interesting because is the code gonna sit here and stop a burglar from breaking into a vehicle? I mean, I called the city of Waukegan 4 times in the middle of the night because I kept hearing the alarms go off because someone was breaking into somebody else's vehicle. I even had the officer stop by. Are the codes gonna sit here and stop somebody from shooting somebody else? I don't know. Is it under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the Graham-Leach-Bliley Act? The Equal Opportunity Credit Act? Tell me what code is gonna stop this madness? It's really interesting when you start studying it. Like the truth in lending. You know, so many people are paying for car insurance separate. So many people are paying for credit repair services when they shouldn't be paying until after the work has been done. So when we start speaking your language, you gotta let me know what language you are speaking. Is it plain English or is it law? Because I would definitely like to know. Maybe we might have a resolution and some comprehension if we actually start speaking the same language. Thank you.
Mr. Brother Blanks.
Brother Blanks, Black Abolition, founder and chief president of Black Abolition Movement for the Mind. You know, in this administration, our organization has probably been recognized and honored symbolically more than any other administration since we've been coming here since 2003, symbolically. However, in substance, Mayor, you and the city council members has actually, in substance, given us a blank check, which we can't count and we can't cash. And when we said, and I'm gonna put it as a demand because we're not going anywhere, because when we're talking about a civilian office of police accountability, no, it's not a one-all, cure-all, but it says you care. But apparently you don't. Because see, a civilian office of police accountability, which may not matter to you now, I'm thinking about the future here. I'm thinking about every young man and woman, Mayor, long after you're not sitting in that seat anymore, for however long, which may not be long, or for however long. I'm thinking about these young men and women who still have to drive. This young man just got his license. So I know before you got into your position, when I was here in 2003, there were some mayors who took this seat who was more pro-police. And there were some ungodly things that took place throughout this city what drew us in this organization to this city council chamber. So when you give me these awards and these recognition symbolically, yes, we appreciate it. But the very purpose that we come to this city council meeting in substance have been totally undermined and ignored. When we are saying that we want accountability, to civilian officer police accountability, we're basically saying we want this city to say we care about the future. Same thing that we're saying and the same thing that these people saying with the ceasefire resolution. It don't mean it's not a one-all, cure-all, but it is saying that you care. So to sit there and look at everybody and you give me all these nice awards throughout the year and throughout your administration, but when it comes down to substance, when I'm thinking about Sonia Massey, who we went and we rallied for in Chicago, when I think about the Sonia Massey, I don't know what it'll be like when you leave your position. I don't know what the next mayor, what other mayors might bring. I want a civilian office of police accountability in this city for the future of these kids and everybody else long after you're gone and none of you are sitting there anymore. Let's make it happen. Black Abolition Movement for the Mind.
Thank you, Brother Blank. The next group will be Christopher, Miriam Ayuguete, Ken Isles, Joyce Evans, and Wygenia Briscoe. Christopher, Miriam Ayuguete, Ken Isles, Joyce Evans, and Wygenia Briscoe. When you are, sir.
Good evening, guys, everyone, Waukegan. I am here for one reason. I want to YouTube, awakening my mind. What's going on with Waukegan? Why are we still broke? 3 cities, what do we need? Airport, railroad, and we need boat, water. Does Highland Park have the 3? No, they don't. Libertyville, Gurnee, wait. Waukegan has those 3 things, and we're still broke. We have an airport, we have movement, transportation via railroad, and water, you're still broke. Mr. Edwards, the only guy here sometimes coming and telling you guys the truth. I was like, man, who is that guy? Why is that guy still coming? Why is that guy always coming? I'm here, and I'm telling you guys on YouTube, stop censoring comments and allow people to comment on this video. Do not censor us. This is not Russia. This is not Soviet Union. This is not Venezuela. This is not Bangladesh, by the way. They are free now. And the same thing can happen to Waukegan. People are awakening. There's a public awakening. All of you, we know who you are. Some people know where you live. There could be protests one day, peaceful demonstrations, trying to one day let you guys know that we're tired of the side of the road being bumpy. Paying $60,000 for cutting the grass somewhere in the park? Don't BS me, that is not true. I can get some Mexican guy, some black guy, some white guy who does it for cheaper, $20,000, $10,000. Why is we paying too much on that? Just cutting the grass, $60,000 bi-weekly? That's BS. Don't be stealing money from the people. There is an awakening coming to Waukegan. Be ready. Because when it comes, you will not be prepared, Miss Taylor, because I know where you are every day. 5,473 people ready to go on peaceful demonstrations and tell you guys what we think. And if the black community wants to join, welcome. This is for Waukegan. This is not about South, nor East, West. We're Waukegan. If South goes down, we all go down. Let's not divide ourselves. If we divide ourselves, we're over. They win. Protect your family. Protect your values. Protect your rights. Protect your people, but protect Waukegan, because they will, at the end of the day, get their check. Guess what? It's time for vacation somewhere in the Caribbean. We know where we all are right now. We're getting effed up. And I'm telling you guys right now, Mr. Hayes, and you, Ms. Newsom, I'm going to tell you something. You are a server of the public. Stop speaking with such tone like you tell people how much time they have. Relax, wake up, we pay you. So relax, chill, and take a chill pill.
Thank you. Thank you. Marion?
Miriam Jeanette Argueta, CEO of Build to Empower Corporation. Good evening, Waukegan City Council members. I'm here today in the capacity of a business leader representing Build to Empower Corporation. This past Tuesday, July 30th, I had the pleasure of celebrating the inauguration of Build to Empower Trámites en Inglés. Who we are serving the Lake County Latinos to remove language, education, and technological barriers in the capacity of independent paralegal. And what we do? We process documents that our clients are not able to fill due to the aforementioned barriers. We are located at 1906 Grand Avenue, Suite 2, Waukegan, Illinois. Si tiene problemas de trámites, tenemos la solución. And lastly, I'd like to share my mission statement. Saber es poder. Knowledge is power. And Build to Empower creemos en ayudar a la comunidad latina. And Build to Empower, we believe in helping the Latin community, porque hay mucho valor en nuestra gente. There is a lot of value in our people. Juntos podemos realizar el sueño americano. Together, we can fulfill the American dream. Respectfully, Miriam Jeanette Argueta, Waukegan, Illinois. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Ken Isles?
See if this works. Don't move it? Okay. All right, I am here, no written speech, just a simple question in regards to some building ordinances that have been handed out, and it could be my own fault or those of the property owners that are getting assessed with these. What I'd like to know is, other than coming here, is there a way before these are voted or presented to the council for the property owners that they're assessing with pavement, drainage, et cetera, for us to know? A stronger communication. Now, I'll be the first to admit, I don't like coming to these things. I'd rather be working at a racetrack or on a car. That's my field. So somehow, if it means coming here, then maybe we need to understand that, or if we can be notified as property owners before you make an ordinance change that's going to affect what I have to do with my property, so I have time to do the financing, research, and study without creating floodplains, etc., which recently I just did. I don't have a problem in accommodating. I have a problem in short notification. That is important. My business property has been in this town for 64 years. So I've been here a long time. All I'm asking for is the communication. If I'm supposed to be doing it, when they make a change or you guys bring up something to vote, how do we know? Is it come here or, I don't know. Please tell me. That's all I want to hear. Guess I ain't doing good with that. But in regards to your question on the sports and athletes, being a former Waukegan graduate, we used to have the hall, Mr. Donnerworth knows, that had all of the athletes and made it to the professional level as well as all the Olympics. They were on display at East Campus. Maybe somewhere in the basement they're still there, and you can add Miss Jones to that. But there's a hell of a lot of history here for the athletes. But somewhere besides sending me a violation, give me the opportunity to come listen to your proposed change on my property. Because it affects not only the money I have to spend, but the value of the property that's been here. 70 years, that property's been the same. And everything that they're complaining about was sent to me by the city to keep the streets clean in regards to landscaping trailers parked illegally, et cetera, along with the city toll lot, which I received that, my father and I received that 45 years ago. So if it's going to change, give me the rules ahead of time so I can arrange to take care of it. That's all I'm asking. So somebody, when you get a chance, holler. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Isles. Thank you. Joyce Evans.
Joyce Evans, 829 McAllister, Waukegan, Illinois. I'm not here making threats. I'm here making promises. I am tired. I'm like a bowl of Rice Krispies. When you pour the milk on them, they snap, crackle, and pop. That's where I am right now. Okay, I am tired of policemen harassing me. When I was a kid coming up, I was born and raised in this town. When I was coming up, I was taught about officer friendly. Was there ever officer friendly? I haven't seen them yet. Everywhere I go at night, the police are haunting me. They're circling around my car, and I'm not hallucinating. I've had city employees call me and tell me to watch my back. I'm out on Baldwin. There's about 18 cars. I'm the only one got a ticket. Then I'm sitting in my car with my head down. The officer didn't see me. And when I lift up, he's up this close to me with his lights shining in my car. Anytime a police it took me about 35 minutes to get from Jules on Lewis Avenue to Belvedere where the driver's license place. You know why? I'm playing Monopoly out here at night. When I come here, the police here. Everywhere I go, they show up behind me. Like I said, I don't mind them stopping me. Pull me over, put your light on. Ask me for my driver's license. They all know me. They done stopped me. I don't know how many times they haven't found anything. But my thing is, I'm not taking it sitting down, and I'm tired. My thing is here, it's sad that so many good officers have to fall at the hands of these little boys that's on the force. It's just tired. Out of all the speeding up and down the street, tearing up cars, they're talking about they don't chase the cars because they might cause an accident, hit somebody. These folks that's driving up down the street can hit somebody. So what's the difference? And I'm very, very displeased with this city council. Not everybody on here, but when I was coming up, the city council was city council. They listened to the people. They heard the people, and they act on it. They didn't just let things happen. And like I said, I was born here in 1944. Yes, I'm 80 years old, and I took a lot of messages. This city just is not Waukegan, and it would be nice, you were elected, to turn it back into Waukegan. And my thing, the main thing is here, that woman that got shot in the face, that was unnecessary. I'm a black woman, okay? It's sad that everybody is not on the same level. I know everybody don't hate black, everybody don't hate white. But the thing of it is, we're all here, and if God didn't want us here, he would have made a plan. He's that powerful, he can make a plan for everybody and put them on there. Get the police off my back. Whatever you have to do, get them out.
Thank you. Wygenia Briscoe. Nope. Nope. It's Wygenia's turn. Not yet. You got a ways to go. Okay. Ms. Wygenia.
Thank you. Good evening. So, after coming to the City Council for years now, I just want to say that what has happened with this resolution, it took 3 months for people to come here, protest and everything. And it took this council 3 months to put it on the agenda, talk about it, discuss it, and resolve it. Some of us have been coming to this council for a long time, talking about issues that are happening within Waukegan. Now I see the council can work. You guys really did an awesome job. You put it on the agenda, you voted on it. 3 months later, you came up with a resolution. Some of us have been coming to this council, and I heard Brother Blanks coming forever about his issue. We have panhandlers that are here in Waukegan. Right now, they're coming up to our cars. It's not safe. Something needs to be done with the panhandlers. We have speeding. I know, Keith, you've been talking about speeding for God knows how long, right? Can we address that? We have loud noises. Edith, I know one time we had, we increased the cost. Let's go back and revisit that again, right? We know that ETO is still going on here in this area. At one point, it was really important to this council, but now we don't hear anything else about it. 200 Jillian. It'd be great if we can get an update. Where else do we hear what's happening in this community? I know you guys can work because you did it for the Palestinians. Please do it for those of us who were here before they came and will be here when they leave. Thank you.
Thank you. The last group will be Margaret Carrasco, Robert Stewart, Asfa Udem, Ayed Assad, and Laura Delgado. Margaret Carrasco, Robert Stewart, Asfa Udem, Ayed Assad, and Laura Delgado. Ready when you are, ma'am.
Yes, good evening. First of all, communication. I brought with me tonight the report that the city of Oak Park publishes publicly for all the residents of all the traffic criminal incidents that take place to communicate with their community every single day. Waukegan, you hide the information from us, Ann, and that's illegal. Next, Round Lake. Round Lake sends text messages, sends emails out, communicating. That's all we're asking. Communicate with us. You could avoid all these problems if you would stop locking yourself, hiding under your desk from Waukegan residents and locking that damn elevator. Okay, let me begin now. Okay, and yes, Alderman Tom Hayes, that last meeting, that was an Open Meetings Act violation. You denied the public from speaking. They should have began immediately. The next thing is that I filed a complaint in regards to, on May 30th, in regards to an individual, okay, allegations on the individual of impersonating engaging in dishonesty, fraud, deceit, misrepresentation, false statements, and I have pictures. I love pictures, okay? Impersonating a Lake County judge, okay? That's a felony. Also here, goes around telling everybody that he is a Lake County sheriff, and he has a badge that he goes around. He took a picture with you, Ann. He took a picture with our chief of police. He is not a Lake County sheriff. He is not a Lake County judge. Then the individual sent a message to me saying he's going to retaliate against me, saying that he's going to harass me, started stalking me. That's illegal. I have pictures here, okay, to share so you can see for yourself. And what kind of response for the police? Nothing, nothing, nothing. Okay. This same individual, Ann, you chose as your parade director. The other individual, and you just asked me this, answer this question. Do you think, in your opinion, an individual who has been arrested 10 times for drugs, would you consider him to be a drug dealer? 10 times? The Latino community, we will not endanger our children and our families dealing with individuals as such. And you want to give a taxpayer's dollar donation to him?
Thank
I
you,
don't
Margaret.
think so, sweetheart.
Mr. Robert Stewart, you're next, sir.
Good evening, everybody. I'm coming up here as a father, as a community member of Waukegan, of the First Ward. My main issue right now, I have 2 young kids that I'm trying to bring up strong, smart, whole, and the environment in which the South Side is in is deplorable. We all know that there's more Black and Hispanics on the South Side, and the drugs are atrocious. We need to get them out. And I'm not talking about next week, next year. I'm talking about expeditiously, like now. Because for my children, I turned into an animal. The animal that you don't want to see me down there. My children are my everything. I did not bring them into this world to be influenced by drugs, by prostitution, by any of that negative stuff in which ghettos were created for. And if you don't believe me, go read the book, The Ghetto Experiment. Ghettos are created. Now, I've made plenty of calls about the comb, and I don't care whose pockets it messes up, it needs to stop. Everybody knows about the comb on Genesee. It's a boomer drug spot. Yeah, it's a boomer drug spot. Nobody hangs out there, none from my generation or younger. It's all boomers, and they all do drugs, and it's all crackheads. I was just flashed last week by a crackhead who I told to go home, go get clean, and she lifted up her shirt, and my daughter was in my arms. Why should I be subjected to that? Why, when I call, there's no police response? I need that fixed, like I said, expeditiously, because I'm getting angry. I'm getting angry. Crackheads are running through my yard, and I have my FOIA card. I'm not playing games. I need it fixed, and I need it fixed now, because I'm angry, and I want to protect my children. My children are my everything. And I know I'm not the only one who feels such. Get it together. I want to see some action. Let's go.
Sir. Mr. Ezer Udom. Mr. Udom.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. After attending numerous village hall meetings, I wanted to hear why certain people don't want a ceasefire, and I compiled 5 reasons that I heard from people who did not want a ceasefire and their counter argument. The first argument I heard was, there are other countries that are also being oppressive. Why are we just singling out Israel? There's oppression going on in China. There's oppression going on here in Lake County. There's oppression going on in Sudan. The counter argument to that is that our tax dollars, they're not funding the genocide in China, in Sudan, in Kashmir. Our tax dollars are being used to fund the genocide in Palestine. Okay? According to numerous human rights organizations, Israel is using US-made bombs in strikes that are killing innocent men, innocent women, innocent children. So although some of you voted against a ceasefire, all of you will agree that our tax dollars should be funding humanitarian relief work in Gaza, not bombing it. The second reason I heard why people did not want a ceasefire is that they're saying Hamas doesn't want a ceasefire. According to Frank Lowenstein, an international policy expert and former high-ranking State Department official, he said Netanyahu, for him, it's only a temporary pause on the path to total victory. But logically, if we think about it, to have a temporary ceasefire and release of hostages, and then to resume bombing hospitals, to resume bombing schools and refugee camps, that doesn't make sense. So we need to have a permanent ceasefire and release of all hostages, including the thousands of Palestinian hostages who are being held without any trial. The third reason and fourth reason why I've heard people don't want a ceasefire is that they said, there was a ceasefire in the past, it never worked, and we first have to eliminate Hamas, then we can have a ceasefire. Well, the previous ceasefires were not tied to a bigger political framework that could lead to a Palestinian state alongside Israel. The Israeli occupation and the illegal Israeli settlements, they are the 2 biggest obstacles to peace. They are the 2 biggest obstacles to a 2-state solution. So to have a ceasefire without even addressing the root cause, it's not going to work. To have a ceasefire without giving Palestinians their right and freedom, it's not going to work. And the fifth reason I've heard from people is, why are we getting involved? It's complicated. We're getting involved because we want to preserve innocent life. I went to the Holocaust Museum. They did the same thing where they addressed it at the local level.
Thank you, sir.
And then
Thank
at the
you.
national
Ayad,
level.
Hassad, Mr. Hassad.
I just want to take a moment just to thank everyone who worked so hard to get the ceasefire resolution added to the agenda a few weeks ago. We are grateful for all of your hard work. To all those voted yes to the ceasefire resolution, you have proven that you stand on the right side of humanity. It has been over 300 days since the brutal genocide in Gaza began, and we have spent so many days just arguing and saying we want to add it to the agenda, and it took forever. The resolution was not just about calling for a ceasefire. It was about showing our commitment to human rights and justice. The resolution was not just symbolic. It would have been a big step toward ending this suffering. More than 40,000 Palestinians have been killed. Over 17,000 of them are children. Meanwhile, the rest of the population is being starved due to the blockade of all aids entering into Gaza. The blockade has not only limited to medical aid, it has also forced the population into mass starvation. To even be more clear, people in Gaza are not just dying, they are being killed. People in Gaza are not just starving, they are being starved. We are witnessing a genocide being broadcast in real time through social media, and some of you still turn blind eyes. Please, just look at the social media you see. To all the aldermen who voted no, you are now complicit in these crimes against humanity. The blood of 40,000 people, including 17 innocent children, is in your hand as well. You have not only failed the people of Gaza, but you have failed the community of Palestinians that have raised their kids here in town, ran businesses for several years, and I think you all know me, and we've been here for decades. You have failed humanity. That's all I can say. Thanks.
Thank you. Flora Delgado. Ms. Flora Delgado.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Laura Delgado. Estoy aquí para invitar a todas las jovencitas de 16 a 21 años.
Does she need an interpreter?
Buenas tardes, su nombre es Laura Delgado. She's here to,
Invitar a las jovencitas de 16 a 21 años
she's inviting all the young ladies between 16 and 21 years old
a participar en nuestro concurso de belleza
to participate in a beauty competition
para celebrar nuestras fiestas patrias en el mes de septiembre.
to celebrate our Mexican Independence Day
En el mes de septiembre.
in the month of September.
Las convocatorias ya están abiertas.
The registration is already open.
Están en la página de Fiestas Patrias.
It's on Facebook?
Ajá.
It's on the webpage of Facebook.
Y también en las propagandas alrededor de nuestra comunidad.
And there's flyers around the communities.
Eso es todo.
That's all.
Thank you. Mayor, that concludes the audience time.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Okay. For those of you that would like to leave, we will give a couple-minute break. Do the aldermen need a break? Okay, we'll give a 5-minute break. How's that?
Nice seeing you.
What brings you here? Last minute, I'm like 5.2. I'm not doing more.
So, I thought you were away though.
I just got back from South Carolina. I'm going in May.
Okay.
So last week was just 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Well, I really always appreciate your support. It's funny to me that you find this entertaining.
It is. It's, I got you all. I used to come to my talks.
Okay.
Some of the response just a lot of personality.
You're just here to you know, I've started telling people, like, you know, the more someone else about something, and it's right in front of me. I asked them, like, alternate, so it's in the middle, like,
did see the vote, and I was very surprised.
I just asked Tom. I'm torn. I really want to say I support the proposals for childhood here in Boone. But I would want to give them that we should do. You know what I mean? Like, this is not why are we at the county? We need businesses. So, I mean, I've got to talk about what's going on around. You know, their blood is on my hands, please. You know, they said things to us. We want you to do. And I was talking about it. So, I know that you elected me. Well, I'll tell you, we worked really hard. One of the things we did was to do a long time ago, when I first got into politics, I was walking around, so mad I missed you. I really liked you. And she says, man, sorry I missed you. I actually went looking around the neighborhood to see if I could find you. And I'm like, this is a good idea. So when we first ran for board, we printed up stickers. And it's great, you know, you leave it on the door, whatever, so they'll look at it, and there's sometimes a personal note on it, and so this last election, we went to every, with a stamp. I didn't just do voters, we were last week, and we just remembered to vote, and they had my name, I don't even think it said vote for me, it just said, vote, choose this election, and we did that last week, and I had all kinds of we just hit every door. And it's actually kind of easy, like trying to figure out what this is. They voted
Alderman, can I have you start to come back, please? Alderman? Alderman, can I have you back, please?
Oh, people tell me that all the time. It's so nice to see you.
Listen, give me a call. Martin Custer.
Okay, do I have all the aldermen back? Do I have Alderman Felix? Nope. Alderman Felix, can I have you out front, please? Okay, now that we have everybody back, let's go over consent agenda. Can I have a first and a second to do the whole consent agenda?
So move.
Alderman
Second.
Newsome, second
Second.
was Alderman Donenworth, or, okay, Alderman Donenworth. Okay, any questions to the consent agenda?
Yeah, I'd like to take out item D, please.
Okay.
Mayor, you're not pushing the button. The button for the
Oh,
microphone.
it's not pushing it? Okay. Motion to approve and ratify regular payroll dated July 26, 2024, in a total amount of $112,395.64. Item C, a motion to approve and ratify miscellaneous payroll dated July 26, 24, in a total amount of $42,543.20. So those are the three items right now that we have for the consent agenda. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Donnerworth.
Aye.
Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Bolton.
Aye.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsom.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Motion passed, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item D, can I have a first and a second to the motion?
So moved.
Alderman Florian, second.
Second.
Alderman Newsom. Alderman Turner, you had a question to the motion?
Yeah, just, I know we try to be expeditious in processing these things, but sometimes we need to ask questions and for clarification and to be transparent with the public. We're spending a lot of money here. Mayor, you mentioned in your mayor's comments about the social media posts, and again, is my post that I made about the questionable expenses coming out of your office, and that was just a question. I got questions, right? So I know you don't like that, but you follow my page all the time. So here you go. You mentioned specifically about that what's called a glute machine or whatever. I call it the butt machine. And the fact of the matter is, ma'am, you spent $650 on that. There is a machine down there now. It has a brake, and a part of it could easily be welded. Easily. We have plenty of welders here and equipment to do it. There's no need for that further expense. And yet, and the other side of that is that gym is for the policemen. I know city employees go down there. Some of the aldermen, including me, go down there. That's all I know. But the fact of the matter is that gym is primarily for police officers who use it to train and to maintain their fitness, literally for the purpose of potential mortal combat. They may engage in combat, and that's what their purpose is, and that gym is for that purpose. And this strengthening of the buttocks is not a necessity to engage in combat. But further, there are other things. It wasn't just and only about this butt machine. There are other expenses, and I'll give you an example. So, in addition to the butt machine, we spent $2,666 on a MacBook Pro, when a laptop or the Edge machine would do just as fine, just as well. There were other expenses, the Logitech mouse USB docking station for $243. There was an expense for $1,033. And that's on top of the total $4,487.75 that was spent on credit card charges by Chief of Staff George Bridges. So these are the things that we question, that I question, and I'm not attacking, but I have questions, and the public has questions, and they're entitled to know these things. So when we loop it all in and summarize $585,978.43, it'd be nice to know where that goes. So we could communicate that. We put out the agenda. Why don't we put out these the documentation that backs that up, and maybe some summary of what these are for?
I will answer a couple of questions, and I will have our IT person come up and our finance person come up. But number one, that's what Alderman briefings are for. That's when you have.
We didn't get it in the briefing, ma'am, and that's why I'm asking about it here.
You can call finance, you can call department heads at any time, and that's what we can tell you. You want to talk about the MAC for the IT? Ron, what that was for?
I'm not saying it's unnecessary. I'm just saying I'd like to know.
But you just kind of said it was unnecessary. The $2,000 for the MacBook.
Oh, we're required. I need to have the MacBooks in our arsenal because we only can program iPhone security with MacBooks. Otherwise, I wouldn't purchase the things. It's a requirement to do the job of security for iPhones.
So what happened to the old one?
Sir?
What happened to the one you had?
It's
That you
5
need a
years old.
brand new one, Ron?
Years old,
Okay, so you need a brand new one?
where I recycle everything on a 5-year cycle. And I have to have a backup solution for the primary.
I'll let Alderman Florian talk and then stay up here in case there's other questions. Alderman Florian.
Well, I'd just like to say two things. First of all, the Port Angeles report, which I print out every week, as you know, and go over, is public content on the board docs. So any member of the community at any time can print that out and look at item by item. And just like I do, I email Sherry, I don't know where she is, but, well, back there, okay, sorry, I couldn't see you. I email Sherry every time and say, I have a question about this. I'm pretty sure someone from the community could do the same thing if they wanted to.
Even people who are not computer literate or don't have computers, can they do that? They can do
She's
that.
got a
They can
phone,
do it. They can do it. What can we do to ease that process for the people we
Right now,
represent? No,
please.
I'm talking right
Point of
now.
order, Mayor.
I'm talking right
Point of
now.
order, Mayor.
What can we do to ease that communication with
Alderman
the
Turner, it is
with the people?
Florian's
That's what
time.
I want to
She
know.
called on. I'm sorry.
Transparency
Go ahead.
and communications.
Alderman Florian.
Thank you, Mayor. So this information is public. Anyone can see it at any time. If you have questions, ask me, because I've probably asked the same question. So just call me and I'll explain it to you. And as far as the glute machine not being necessary, as a chiropractor, I can tell you your glute muscles are extremely important. If one of my police officers needs to kick someone's ass, I want them to have strong glutes. So they need that glute machine just as much as they need every other machine.
What I will say is that the machine could not have been welded. They did try that first, so it was done. And a matter of fact, we still have the part, but they did try to weld it first, and it was not possible, so that's why we bought a new one. As you all know, because you use the gym, I can't tell you I do, so I can't verify everything like you do, but a lot of our equipment down there is not brand new, and it is not necessarily the state of the art, but it is something that we provide, and it is not for them to do combat. It is for them to stay physically fit and to cut down our workman's comp claims down, and that's the real purpose. Any other questions for finance?
Yeah, the $4,500 in credit card expenditures from the is allotted to Chief of Staff Bridges. What were those? Can you give? You know, I don't need the whole detail of everything, but
Well, you
can
can call
generalize that.
Sherry tomorrow and get a breakdown of that. I don't know, I mean, we just have the credit card of what the total balance is, so that's all you'll know right now, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. We do things on our credit cards, like I've just put on my credit card, we just registered for people to go to the IML conference. That's on my personal credit card. It's not coming out of the Aldermanic budget, even though it could. It's coming out of the mayor's office.
Good.
And so those things appear on our credit cards, but believe me, there is no one, a mayor who has had 0 tax levies and a mayor who has brought in more money in this 3 years is not wasting money if we don't need to waste it. And that I can guarantee you. We do what we need to do. I mean, most
So
police stations.
my point is that you could alleviate or avoid the appearance of potential waste. I didn't make any accusations by simply communicating better. That's all I'm saying. All right?
All we can
You
do
call
is
for
put
the
it
vote.
out for people
You
to
can call for-
see.
you can call
and
for-
you can call and ask. And
Well, you put out a directive that I can't talk to people and people can't talk to me. So how does that work?
your department heads can, and you know that.
Well, I asked you. I wrote you an email and asked you
Okay,
for
we're
a
gonna
copy
go
of that.
ahead and
no,
do the
I asked you
vote.
for that policy in writing, and you refused to answer. You don't even answer my emails, Mayor. That's another part of the problem. You won't communicate with the aldermen, especially me.
Okay, we're moving on. We've got a first and a second to item D, a motion to approve vendor payments dated August 5th, 2024, in an amount for $4,585,978.43. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Donnerworth.
Aye.
Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Bolton.
Aye.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsome.
Aye.
Turner.
No.
Motion passed, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item 5, reports and communication, there being none. Item 6, old business. Can I have a first and a second to item A?
So move.
That's Alderman Martinez, and Alderman Newsom was the second. And it's a resolution approving a traffic calming policy for the city of Waukegan. This matter was heard in the Public Works and Infrastructure Committee on July 15th and held over at the, it must have been heard before that because it says, oh, I'm sorry, it was held over at the council meeting. I'm sorry. So we're voting on that this evening. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Donnerworth.
Aye.
Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Bolton. Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsom.
Aye.
Turner.
I think there were some changes to this from when we last discussed it, and if everyone who has already voted, I'm the last vote on it, but I just want to make sure you guys are clear on what this is and what it stipulates. So with that being said, my vote is yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item 7, new business. Does anybody want to omnibus these, or do you want to vote on them separate?
They're just
The
a few,
motion to
Mayor.
omnibus it.
Oh, actually, there's a number of,
There's
No,
only like
there's not.
five
So-
or six of them. I mean,
okay. Do you want to do them separately?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Can I have a first and a second on item A?
So moved.
I second.
Florian and Bolton. Item A, an ordinance amending the Waukegan Code of Ordinances to prohibit the sale or distribution of balloons inflated with helium or other lighter-than-air substances. This was discussed at the Committee of the Whole on July 15th. Roll call, please. Any questions to the motion, first off? Okay. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Donnerworth.
Aye.
Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Bolton.
No.
Guzman.
No.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
No.
Newsom.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Can I have a first and a second on item B?
First.
Second.
Alderman Bolton, second. Alderman Turner. An ordinance amending the Waukegan Code of Ordinances to provide the abatement of graffiti. And again, this matter was heard in the Committee of the Whole on July 15th, 2024. Any questions to the motion? Okay, roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Donnerworth.
Aye.
Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Bolton.
Aye.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsom.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Motion passed, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item C, can I have a first and a second?
Aye. So moved.
Second.
Second.
Alderman Florian and Alderman Hayes. Okay, this is a resolution approving spending authority in excess of $25,000 per Section 2-458, a good faith favor with EJ Equipment for a not-to-exceed amount of $43,000 for the purchase of a trackless boom flail mower. And for the general public who has no idea what that is an extension to one of the lawn mowers, like an arm that does the sides of streets and stuff like that. So it's just a device that attaches to our mowers. Any questions to the motions?
Mayor, can I just make one comment? I noted in the committee that the version that appeared on board docs did not provide a justification for the good faith waiver. That was an error on my part. I didn't send it to Shannon. The justification for the good faith waiver in this case is that only one company provides something that met our specifications that could be delivered in any sort of timely manner. And this is an important piece of equipment specifically for mowing on embankments, other uneven ground where you're not able to actually put a standard mower. The truck basically goes along the road or another flat surface and extends a boom with this. So it's an important piece for getting access to infrastructure that would otherwise be inaccessible. And then the only other thing is that with the waiver, it requires a 2/3 majority.
Okay. Okay, roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Donnerworth.
Aye.
Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Bolton. Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsom.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item D, can I have a first and a second?
So moved.
Alderman Florian, a second?
Second.
Who is the second down this end?
Second. I'll
Okay,
second
Alderman
it.
Guzman. Okay, a resolution approving and authorizing a contract with Lake County Grading Company for the removal of contaminated soil for the South Lakefront Brownfield cleanup. You guys heard about that in community development tonight. Any questions to the motion?
How much is that contract for?
Yeah.
I got it. That's good. I'll accept the
Okay.
gentlelady's word for it.
Okay. Can somebody give me the amount because it wasn't on here and I'm
Yeah,
sorry I don't.
it's in the resolution. I'm pulling that up right now. I believe it's 266,000. Give me a moment.
Well, that sounds like a bargain. actually.
Yeah, so it's, $225,200.
Outstanding. Thank you.
All this is paid for by a EPA grant.
Great. Thank you, Stuart.
Yes, this really was truly a good price, and that's why you guys are voting on it quickly.
Sounds like it, yeah.
Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Donnerworth.
Aye.
Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Bolton.
Aye.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsom.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item E, can I have a first and a second? Alderman Newsom, a second? Second to the motion?
I'll second it.
Alderman Florian, any questions to the motion?
I do.
Alderman Guzman?
So this is item E. You know, I was listening to the committee. I came a little late, and I listened to the comment that an alderman made. Okay, we are here to conduct city business, yes, but we must follow state law. State law stipulates that we must have public comment, and to restrict somebody a time limit for public comment, I think is totally inappropriate. The public is here, they pay their tax dollars, they pay their sales tax, they pay their fuel tax, they pay tax after tax after tax after tax, they pay our salaries, they pay basically to keep the lights on. So to limit their time, I think it's totally inappropriate and incorrect. If we are here, we are here. Last time there was a storm going on, we cut the meeting short. We went really, really fast. But then, this is our job here, ladies and gentlemen. Our duty is to come here, do city business, listen to the complaints of the people, and try to correct what's going on in their city. Okay, if we're just going to cut everything down and leave, and all because a few people want to speak, and it doesn't happen often. It's very few times that there's so many people that we have to stay here an hour and a half extra because there's an issue that presents itself. So for this to be on here, I don't find it correct. So, I mean, I'd like to put a motion to postpone this for, I don't know, forever and never hear this again.
Second that motion.
Wait. Would you like to explain it, Corporate Counsel, that?
Well, I would like to state that you need to have rules. Now, I think specifically you're talking about the provision that states that there will be a 45-minute block at the beginning of the meeting, and anyone who doesn't speak in that block then will speak at the end. That's what it actually says.
Correct.
Now, it is perfectly legal to put a limit on public comment, especially if you allow people to speak after other business. That said, you could also amend this to remove that, but you should have public comment rules. And I would recommend that whether you include the time limit or not, that these rules are for the benefit of the public and for the benefit of the clerk and for the benefit of all of you as well. And if you have specific comments about other items besides the time limit, I'm happy to talk about those as well.
And I
Well,
remember,
the city's been incorporated since 1859. So for all those years, this has never come up or has been addressed.
oh, it has been addressed several times. For
So-
those that have been here for a long time, we'll tell you, it's addressed every administration. But I remember when we first started with a large crowd here, you were one of the first ones who wanted to make a motion to limit it to so many people because of the crowd. And it wasn't that we were saying we weren't going to hear everybody. It was that we want to get, so many people in and then do the city business and then come back and hear people. And so that's what corporate counsel kind of listened to, was that going on, is that we need to make sure we get enough time to get the city business in.
Mayor.
It's not stopping people from talking. Yes.
Yeah, so maybe another way we could approach this is when we have a large body, large number of people who want to speak, 50 or so, whatever it was last meeting, maybe just say, hey, if, instead of being repetitive, ask if there's a spokesperson or two who could speak for the larger group. That might be a solution.
I think that sounds like a fair deal right there. I mean, if they're going to keep saying the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, why not?
That's going to create even more issues.
Yeah, I
Starting to
think-
judge or anticipate or pretend like we have a crystal ball and we can figure out what people are going to say before they say it is just going to get us into it's a minefield. I think the way that this is drafted is it's not restricting anybody's speech. It just allots for 45 minutes up front, then everybody else gets to speak on the back end, and perhaps this would encourage all of us to get through our city business more quickly so that the individuals that have to wait till the back end of the meeting don't have to wait for very long. So maybe it'll encourage us to be a little bit more efficient when addressing all the items on the agenda. We're not restricting anybody's speech. As Stu said, it's not illegal. Everybody still gets their 3 minutes. I don't see any issues with it.
I can tell you, and I think Alderman Newsom can tell you, we've been up here long enough to know that public comment has moved from the top of the meeting to the bottom of the meeting, back to the top of the meeting. It's been all over the place in the 6 years that I was an alderman, and I know it's always been an issue. No matter what we do, there's not going to be a perfect solution. It just isn't. But this is something that many of you brought up to us that thought that we needed to revamp that. So that's all this is. This was basically the alderman's request. So it's up to you how you want to vote on it. Okay? I've been through enough of this that I don't have an opinion. Any other questions to the motion?
I did want to just say what the recommendation out of committee was, just so, because there was a recommendation out of GO&O to provide that persons requiring an interpreter, if English is not their first language, and they have an interpreter like we had tonight, that they would be allotted extra time. And the motion was to allot them twice as much time, given that basically everything would have to be said twice. So that's the recommendation that came out of GO&O. Sorry, Alderman.
Alderman Hayes?
And that modification, council, is if an interpreter is required, right? So in the event that somebody doesn't speak English, then.
And generally speaking, in the past, if they're hearing impaired, they need to notify us so that we can have somebody here. It's not something that we would routinely have.
Sure.
Any more than any of the other taxing bodies would have that person either.
Just out of curiosity, how would we or could we handle someone who comes here and their first language is something other than Spanish? Maybe they come and they speak Croatian or Ukrainian or whatever, any other language.
Well,
How will we handle that?
We would need advance notice to know that they were coming so we could find such an interpreter, because it's not everybody in the community that can do that.
Yeah, yeah. So how much advance notice would you?
Usually
like?
it's at least 72 hours.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, me.
Alderman Donworth?
Okay, so I just want to make this clear. If we vote yes on this, it's going to allow everyone that is here to speak. Either they'll speak in the beginning or they'll speak at the end, but everybody's going to be heard. Is that correct?
Yeah, corporate counsel will read the actual language so that, and some of you might have it or with on your laptops.
So I'm just going to read the time allotted provision out loud. The maximum time allocated for public comment time at any meeting is 45 minutes, unless determined otherwise by the presiding officer prior to the commencement of comment time. In the event that all persons desiring to speak during public comment time are not able to do so within the time limit allowed, the presiding officer may either extend the time allocated for public comment time or allow for continuation of public comment time after the completion of all other matters on the agenda.
Alderman Guzman?
Okay, so what about last meeting? It was supposed to be moved to the end, and then everything got rushed, and then no public comment whatsoever, no alderman time, and it was just adjourned and then gone.
Well, that was a special circumstance due to weather. That wasn't,
It's just a little rain. It's
There
just
were-
a little water.
There were 24, I looked it up, there were 24 tornadoes that night.
I had backup also.
Informed by our manager of dispatch that we had issues with power in the building and we needed to allow people to get home. That is otherwise everyone would have ended up in the basement when the sirens went off.
I had backup at my house too, so I understand that. It was just water. But we have our police and our fire, and our public works guys. If a tree went down in the middle of the road,
Can we call for a vote
we will have
on this
them out
particular
there,
issue?
right? But we can't. They have to do their job, but we don't have to.
You can bring this up during your 3 minutes of alderman time. In the meantime, can we call for a vote, please?
okay, roll call, please, Madam Clerk. Yes, we're voting. Roll call, please.
Well, just to point out, the clerk has pointed out that Alderman Guzman made a motion to postpone this indefinitely. Turner seconded that.
I didn't hear that. Okay.
It's not an appropriate motion because there has to be a date certain, so I would call for a vote on the motion as drafted, if I could have a second.
Basically, what a motion to table indefinitely would be a motion to table, or a motion to postpone indefinitely is a motion to table, which is in order, and it would need to be taken off the table at another point.
Well, I think words are important and we should choose them carefully, and it was a motion to hold over forever, I actually think was the word. So unless someone's in favor of holding this over forever, which I don't think anybody is, we should vote on it.
Okay.
You can have on the vote, you can have a vote on the motion to postpone. Motion to postpone.
Do you want to withdraw your motion or not?
No.
Okay.
So you could vote on for override if you want.
This is the motion was basically to postpone indefinitely or to table this, to basically take it off the table for now. So
You're giving them a second bite at the apple. So I guess I would make a motion to override the vote to hold this over forever.
I'll second that.
a holdover is only for 2 weeks. I think that it was, although it was imprecise, and a motion to hold over does not require a second, can be overridden by 2/3. This was not a motion to hold over. It was basically a motion to table, and would need to be put back on the agenda at some other time. So I think the appropriate thing would be to vote on that motion to postpone or to table.
We look like children. Just for everybody up here, we look like children. I can't believe if you don't like it, just vote no.
Okay, just vote no. I mean, basically, this is, now, what you're voting on now and everybody needs to understand, is to postpone it, because there's been so much mixed here that you are voting to postpone it indefinitely, so, or table it. So if you don't want to do that, you vote, Stu, confirm this for me, you vote yes. If you don't want to, I'm sorry, you vote no, I'm sorry, if you don't want to postpone this
If you'd like to
indefinitely.
stop consideration of this matter, vote yes. If you'd like to move forward with this consideration, either on a yes or no vote, then vote no.
Okay. Does any questions to that by the alderman? Okay. Alderman Donnerworth? Okay.
Basically, postpone it, and we won't have rules. I mean, we'll have the rules.
Yeah, but he wants to know yes or no, how to vote.
I'm sorry, could you speak in the mic? Can you speak in the mic what you were saying?
Not a problem.
One more time.
I'll try and clarify, and I apologize if I spoke imprecisely. There is effectively a motion to table this indefinitely. So there would be no further consideration of these rules. If you want that, vote yes on the next roll call vote. If you'd like to continue consideration of these rules, vote no. Does that, I'm sorry, is that, okay, thank you. Thank you for asking me to clarify.
Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Donnerworth.
No.
Florian.
No.
Hayes.
No.
Bolton.
No.
Guzman.
Yes.
Martinez.
No.
Felix.
No.
Newsom.
No.
Turner.
Yes.
We are back to the original motion, which is to consider these rules as presented with the recommendation from GO&O to add a double time for people who need translation from their native language to English.
Okay. Do we need to put in a time, like 72-hour request for, if it's just their native language, but what if their native language is one that we don't have an interpreter for?
We could definitely put in a 72-hour notice
Yes.
prior to that.
Is everybody okay with putting a 72-hour notice in there in case it's a language that we don't have an interpreter for?
Can I ask a question? I know I've done this at my office. Can you use your phone to interpret any language, or I've only used it for Spanish, to be honest, but can you?
Yeah.
There is a site that it has all the languages.
So, I mean, we could theoretically do it on the fly if we needed to. I don't know if our IT guy's still in the room. Oh, he's back there.
Just to say, we are not actually required to provide an interpreter. What all this does is provide extra time if someone does have an interpreter.
Got it.
You can leave it as is if you want. Okay. And Alderman Guzman?
So what we're voting on is just the extra allowable time for the interpreter, correct? Or we're voting on the 45 minutes? Because when I
Voting on the
heard,
rules as they were put in the packet.
Yeah.
so the 45 minutes and the interpreter, correct?
45 minutes and the extra time. 45 minutes is part of the rules.
And the amendment is the extra time?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's not for, it's 45 minutes at the beginning of the meeting, not total time. Okay, roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Donnerworth.
Aye.
Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Bolton.
Aye.
Guzman.
No.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsom.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Yes, it passes.
Okay, thank you, Madam Clerk. Item F, can I have a first and a second to the motion? Alderman Newsom, a second?
Second.
Alderman Florian. An ordinance amending the Waukegan Code of Ordinances regarding public comment and participation. And again, this was discussed earlier in the GO&O committee. Any questions to the motion? Any questions? Okay. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Donnerworth.
Aye.
Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Bolton.
Aye.
Guzman.
No.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsom.
Aye.
Turner.
Nope.
Motion passes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. There being no ordinances, Alderman time.
Oh,
Alderman
when I ask a question, is it possible, because I have the owners of Conchal here, can we bring it up to this meeting and vote on it already?
For what?
For the liquor license?
Yeah, it was not put on this agenda. Traditionally, liquor licenses go to community development and then in 2 weeks go on the main agenda. This was not placed on the main agenda, so we cannot take final action on it tonight.
And do you guys mind if they come up and just answer your questions really quick?
You know, I don't know that there were specific questions. We just asked if they were in the crowd, just for purposes of preserving the record. Sorry, Mayor, to just jump in. But for community development, was it Conchal? Was that the name of the restaurant? Okay. So what I would ask instead is, if anybody has any questions about approving this liquor license, they're here, and maybe they won't have to come back at the next city council meeting. If after this meeting, you could be so kind as to ask your questions or voice any concerns that you may have. All of that information was published on Board Docs on Friday, and then we can save you the trouble of having to come back at the next meeting if you don't want to.
Yes.
In 2 weeks, yeah.
If I could just comment, and the reason why I voted no is because I thought that you should have been here. Obviously, you're here now, so if I can change my vote, I would vote back to a yes. Oh, I understand. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Nothing that happened at the committee is final at this point. So any alderman that has any questions will speak with you after the meeting.
Yes.
Thank you very much for coming on short notice, and thank you, Alderman Felix, for giving them a call.
Thank you.
Okay, Alderman time.
Alderman Donnerworth.
Thank you. Yes, I'd like to thank, of course, staff and employees here for day-to-day contact I have with them, and the response I get is phenomenal, and everything seems to be going really well, and people are very happy with the things we're able to take care of. And also, I'd like to say we have a clean sweep, which is a dumpster drop, which is going to be at Bowen Park on Saturday from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. These are out in some of the places around Waukegan, some of the businesses and stuff. But, you know, bring what you can, but, you know, remember you can't bring any type of yard waste, liquids, tree trunks, concrete, brick, stone, rocks, hazardous waste, flammable materials, car parts, small engines, paint, stain, railroad ties, and other stuff that wouldn't be accepted by the garbage company. So, have a great day.
Alderman Florian.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I'm also having a Saturday dumpster coming up on Saturday, September 7th at 455 West York House, otherwise known as Mid Lane. This is usually where I host my Saturday dumpsters in the fall, and it'll be from 8 a.m. to noon. Same rules apply that he just read about what you can and cannot bring. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to reach out, email me, call me. I also wanted to mention I attended the Waukegan Housing Authority block party on Thursday down at their location on MLK. It was a great event, lots of people, music, food. Lots of the community organizations were represented, the Park District, the libraries, and so on. It was just really a nice community event, so I'm glad I was able to be there for that. That's all I have. Thank you.
Alderman Hayes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Quick comment. I just want to say thank you to city staff, everyone really, for your invaluable assistance and guidance at the last city council meeting. We were faced with crazy, very uncertain weather-related circumstances that were, of course, outside of our control, as well as an audience-related disruption. I'm grateful for all of you continually and continue to be impressed by everything you do for us. So much gratitude. Thank you very much. And I also just want to say that at the last meeting, as council raised earlier, we made the decision to prioritize everyone's safety above all else, which is what I would hope you would expect of your elected officials, and to make sure that our first responders were not here at City Hall, but out on the streets assisting the community. So I just want to say, again, thank you to everyone for your assistance and guidance 3 weeks ago. Thank you.
Alderman Bolton.
Wow. Want to thank the staff for everything you do, all the reports, the long hours. I just want to let you know you are appreciated. And I have a list of activities and community events that has occurred, so I'm just going to acknowledge you. That's the Family Center. They're down there on Genesee and Belvedere. They had their block party, their family center. We also had Township. I also attended that. It was an excellent outcome. Shiloh Baptist Church gave their block party. Then, of course, between the last council meeting and this, there was a wonderful gospel fest. Church neighborhood block party. Baha'i community was yesterday in Bowen Park. Some of them were part of my ward. Then we had, of course, the street name change, Shakita Jones. The AME Church will be giving what is called a Care Fest. That will be August 17th, starting at 11 a.m. Then we have UMA, who gave their ribbon cutting today. It was a great outcome. It's called Harvest Market. And they give away Pampers, food, just serving those in the community. Then Cool Pantry had their luncheon. Waukegan Police Association had their luncheon. Waukegan Housing, once again, I was there with that. And then just to let you know, in Spanish and English, I will be doing a cleanup at the location of 8th and Adam. It's not just limited to the first ward, but the whole Waukegan. Thank you for the daily calls. And also coming up this Thursday, the Boys and Girls Club will be doing a youth event between 9 and 4. Thank you.
Alderman Guzman.
I want to thank our first responders. Last meeting, we rushed our council meeting and we left. And you guys are out there, and I feel that we should do our job and stay here and do it correctly. We ask for you guys to be out here. Maybe I think different since I'm a first responder also, and I would be out there. If I got the call, I would be out there, and I do my job. So I feel that when we're here, we should do our job, and to the appropriate and whatever length it takes. I mean, it's water. I mean, we all been in rainstorms. I had backup. There's nothing I could do at 9, 10 at nighttime. I can't go to Ace Hardware, Home Depot, rent a auger machine so I can get my sewer unclogged, or I'm going to pay outrageous fees for a plumber to be a 24-hour service. So there's nothing we could do that day but just get home, okay? Like I said, maybe because I'm a first responder, I feel that that we should get the job done. So I want to, because your lives are, to me, are worth the same as myself, okay? And I take my hats off to you guys because you guys are out there day in and day out protecting us from all kinds of dangers. And I want the city staff also for the great job they do, hours and hours, the engineering department, the finance department, LGBT, I can't remember the rest of the initials, safety for our employees. I mean, you guys do a great job. You know, I was kind of disappointed about the time limit. I think we should have just kept going, but I mean, other aldermen disagreed that, but we are still having our meeting. So if you sign up, you'll still get your time at the end. It's just 45 minutes. I know it's 15 people. I know we have 87,000 people here, and if they all came out here, we'd be here. You know, so we'll try to work it out. Just be prepared mindfully that the earlier you come, you sign up, try to be at the first 15 people to get in here, and you don't have to wait through how long the agenda is and then make your comments afterwards. So if you want to say something, try to get here a little early so you can sign up and make your comments and then move on with your lives. Okay? Thank you. Have a good day.
Alderman Martinez.
All right, thank you, thank you, Madam City Clerk, and also the council. I would first like to thank Pastor Mark Rolandhagen for our evocation today. Pastor Waukegan is from pastor at St. Lutheran Church in the 3rd Ward, so thank you for the invocation. And also, I'd like to give my deepest condolences to the family of former Police Lieutenant Mr. Fernando Shipley. My heart goes out to his wife, Harlene, and the rest of the family. Just a tremendous loss, not only as a personal friend and my mentor, but for the entire city of Waukegan. He will always hold something better than ordinary in my heart and my family's heart. It was way back on June 15, 1980, during Father's Day, that a new rookie policeman by the name of Fernando Shipley knocked on our doors. We're celebrating my arrival of my brother. Unfortunately, that would not be. What turned into what wasn't a joyful event turned something that was totally tragic. He delivered the news that my brother had drowned in Texas. So just wanted to let them know. And every time I bumped into him, it was always a pleasure to hug him and always give him thanks for that. So he would always be a part of my life. Just a stellar of a person, was driven by the purpose, and whose zest for life and commitment to our community will never, ever be duplicated. I also like to welcome new business to our 3rd Ward, Ms. Argueta, Miriam Argueta, and she is with Built to Empower. And this is an administrative services organization dedicated to uplifting the Latino community. Miriam Argueta is a visionary behind this initiative. I was able to attend her grand opening, which was absolutely wonderful and inspiring. Miriam, I do wish you well. And on behalf of the city and the Latino community, we welcome you. We welcome you to the 3rd Ward. I wish you all the success and prosperity. And again, that is located at 1906 Grand Avenue. So good luck and Godspeed. I would also like to thank Public Works for the expeditious response to the damage that was caused by the storm that we experienced on July 15th. There was flooded roads. It was just a mess. I was very impressed as I watched them coordinate and clean the area and the debris in our 3rd Ward. The 3rd Ward really got hit bad. So I wanted to give them the kudos. Chris, Alonzo, and all the rest of your team, you guys did a great job, and I appreciate that. And on behalf of the constituents of the 3rd Ward, they also appreciate that. Also, quickly, Public Works will be performing road maintenance on Flossmoor and Northmore, from Grand to Northmore Avenue. We just ask that you be patient at this time as we're doing construction. I will update any changes that occur. If you need to get a hold of me, I can be reached at 847-390-2689. And let me see, that's pretty much what I got. I just ask my constituents to be safe, be mindful, and moreover, let's all be a good neighbor. Thank you and good night.
Alderman Felix.
Thank you. I just wanted to, it's been a long 2 weeks, or more over 2 weeks since we last came up here. I will be having a 4th Ward meeting, and I invite the 4th Ward constituents to come in, businesses and constituents of the 4th Ward. And even if you're out of the 4th Ward, please come in. If you want to address a few issues, I'm always open to talk to you. It's going to be August 17th, Saturday, from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. It's going to be in the public library, so you guys are welcome. There's going to be some snacks and drinks. And the week after that, we're also going to have a 4th Ward clean sweep. So that means a free dumpster. I'll put up all the information. If you guys follow me on Facebook, or the city will put up information as well as to what you can't and can't bring. And our alderman went over that information as well. I invite everyone to please use it, especially if we're going into the now the winter. It's coming up. Get rid of the stuff that you don't need. And again, meet me in my 4th Ward meeting. I want to talk to everyone. As you know, I'm always open to talk to whoever gets in front of me and wants to discuss other issues, whether it be what we've done or what we are looking to do in the future. I did attend a GATA training for not-for-profits that was hosted by the State Senator Adrian Johnson and Rita Mayfield, our state representative. They are actually going to have another training for not-for-profit. Everyone that I met over there, I let them know, start now. Start your paperwork if you ever want to do a not-for-profit. It is more simple than you think. I thought it was super complicated, and it's really not. But I understand you want guidance, and that's what this group is offering. So they're actually going to have another training. The one that I attended was a GATA training, but the one that they're going to have actually is going to be a little bit more in depth on how to start it, and it's going to be also Vance Wyatt, which I know that he's very educated on how to do the not-for-profit. It's going to be going through it. So I invite everyone to attend. It's actually going to be on August 24th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Our city is being recognized by for having all these not-for-profits that are looking to help out a community. So, you know, we need more people to participate now that we currently have funds. There's a lot of millions of dollars that are left on the table for these kind of things, for not-for-profits for our city. I invite everyone to take advantage of that. I was invited by North Chicago Think Tank. Well, I actually was invited by my constituent, Deborah Scipio. She's part of the Neighborhood Watch by the Julian Towers, the Lakeside Towers. She invited me to join, and I volunteered and everything, to join North Chicago Think Tank and Nature's Emporium Shop, which was on Bruce, Billy, and Cam. Cam's from Whipping It Up. They did a free breakfast for the Lakeside Towers, and the beauty about that is that I was able to meet more people from the towers. They shared videos with me. They shared comments with me. You know, I get to know what's going on more on the inside. So I think these organizations for making something like this happen. That way I can connect with my constituents that I normally wouldn't see. Even if I visit the towers, you know, it's different from them coming out and talking to them. I do want to say mention my phone number. You can text me. I prefer text. That way I have it there. But you can always call me. My phone number is 847-390-2693. Please reach out to me. I'm always open to having a conversation and see how we can start a plan. My focus is still public safety. I'm working towards that, and also having more communication to our community. So those are going to be my main focus. And there's a lot of things going on in the background that hopefully we'll soon be talking about. I've been working with him with George. I want to thank you to George Bridges for, he runs a lot of the departments. He is a good source. I do communicate with him a lot for things to be done. So if you guys have things like brush and branches that need to be picked up, please let me know. If you can't, reach out directly, and I will definitely reach out to our city staff, the ones that I communicate with. So that's pretty much it. Oh, I do want to address, there's people certain people that come in and get upset if we're doing something new or that can create havoc, but then complain about the way that things are. If we want to create some change, it's going to look different. It's going to be uncomfortable. So which side are you on? You want something new to create a solution, or do you want things to be the same way? If things stay the same way, there's no change. So, part of being new is that you come with these new ideas and the courage to get these things, push these things forward, and create a conversation with our community. So just want to say that, and thank you.
Alderman Newsom.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. First of all, I'd like to thank, as have been mentioned earlier, Public Works. After all the water we got 3 weeks ago tonight, in spite of all of that water, I only got a few phone calls with flooding in the basements. So I thank Public Works for getting a handle on it as quickly as possible to alleviate some of the flooding. A lot of my constituents that did have some water back up, they appreciate the quick work that our Public Works gives. Mr. Chris and Mr. Alonzo, I really appreciate you both. And then also what has been mentioned, I wanted to give my condolences to the retired Lieutenant Fernando Shipley, who gave many, many years to this police department and the city of Waukegan, not only as an outstanding policeman, but also served on the school board for many years. So he, every time I saw him, he was smiling. So he had this infectious smile, always showing his teeth. But Yeah, just a joyful person. So I really want to give my condolences to his wife, Ms. Harleen Shipley, and his children and grandchildren, all the rest of his family. What a great loss Waukegan has. I also want to mention that his services are going to be this Saturday, August 10th. Visitation is at 10 a.m. The funeral service will be at 11 a.m. at Trinity AME Church, 210 South Avenue, Waukegan, Illinois. Thank you.
Alderman Turner.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Excuse me. Few things here. There's still a lot of, because of the recent storms and before, we have a lot of tree branches and such laying in the parkways. If the Public Works is making a concerted effort to get those things up, they always do. They have a plan for that. But if they haven't gotten yours and you need expedited pickup, please contact Public Works directly or call me. My number is 847-445-3788, and I'll do what I can to help with the process. I want to remind everyone that both Alderman Donenworth and I have been remiss in not having mentioned this more often, but we still have our 6th and 7th Ward rewards program, two $1,000 rewards for information leading to the arrest and conviction of anyone illegally in possession of a firearm, and that runs through Labor Day. I too want to acknowledge and extend my condolences to the family of my friend Fernando Shipley. He did have an infectious smile. He and I were pretty tight, as his wife and I, Harleen. They were friends and advisors and mentors in many ways. So my condolences. And again, if you didn't catch it from Alderman Newsom, services will be at Trinity AME Church on Saturday at 210 South Avenue. And then again, that's from 11 to 1. 10 to 1. 10 to 12. Thank you. Okay, finally, I'm having my annual ice cream social. This is, I think, my 15th year or something like this. It's been a long while. This year it's going to be at the Wheels of Chicago car store, dealership, and that is at 415 North Green Bay Road. It's going to be on Saturday, August 24th from 1 to 6 p.m. Free food, free ice cream. Come and get it. Thank you.
Ma'am, that concludes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Alderman Turner, second Alderman Florian. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. See you first thing tomorrow for Wake Up Waukegan.